been your impression of the way Mike is, especially with Tyreek? You said sort of short, fast motion.
Kind of what you expect. I mean, Tyreek is such a unique dude. He's the one dude with those motions who is fast enough to run any route known to man off of him. And not many people are like that. So they get to try a lot of stuff with that, which Mike's as good as anyone at trying stuff and being creative. They did that in week 1 with the little cheat motion. We did it in week 2 after we saw it. The Rams did it about 3 times versus us in week 2. I've also seen every team probably do it since week 1. So it is a cool motion. And they got a real cool guy to do it with.
What do you call it?
We call it cheat. Yeah.
Shortly after you hung
It's
up
cheating.
with us.
Why is it cheating?
I don't know. It looks just almost did it. It looks hard to stop people like Tyreek and Debo and stuff with a running start. That's usually only in the CFL. So it's cool to get him running sideways and still find a way to hit it vertically.
Shortly after you hung out with us on Friday, the extension was announced. I assume that meant that you aren't real comfortable talking about it, so I'm going to ask you, what does that mean to get that extension, your second with the 49ers, and just kind of what you've established here, you and John, and what does it mean going forward?
I mean, we did it before the Pittsburgh game, so I'd already celebrated with my family and stuff like that, which is huge. I feel very grateful. I mean, just being a coach anywhere for a long time, I know what that means, and extremely grateful for that, to have that opportunity, and mainly for my family to be somewhere for so long, which is cool. But and doing it before the season even started, I think meant a lot to me. Just shows you the people that we're with, that we believe in each other, despite what could happen. Whether we were 0-3 or 3-0, we'd still be in the same situation, and really like where we live and really like the people we work with. And they're committed to giving us a chance to go for it every single year, and that's all I could ever ask for.
The landscape of the NFL and what's your previous long stint, like 4 years?
Yep.
So knowing that, you've now added a few years to your football life expectancy as a coach, how is that kind of, give me the perspective on just how difficult it is for a coach coming into a situation that wasn't real good to have that kind of staying power?
I think it's tough because you don't know the people until you get in those situations. So sometimes when you come into a situation that looks really hard to win in the first couple of years, you're nervous about it because you know how the pressure goes when you lose, no matter what people say. It gets tough to stick with the plan, and that's what made it so exciting the first time, meeting with Jed and the commitment he gave us and what he said. And I really feel like that made us make the right decisions for those first couple of years and help build it the right way. And that's really what got us to come here, allowed us to be patient, do it right, and he hasn't changed ever since. So I love being in a building where you trust each other. You can always try to do what's right. Might not always be right, but the intent of what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, we all believe in each other in that way. And to me, that's the most important thing in giving you a chance.
Extensions. You and John have been real close together in terms of getting them done. John was a few days at the same time. How important is it to be aligned and make sure that you guys are going to be riding this out together?
I think it's huge. I think it's all part of it. I mean, just from the ownership to John, to the coaching staff, to our players, to the whole building. We feel very connected, and we like what we've established here. But more importantly, we believe we're doing it the right way, and that'll allow us to have a higher percentage of doing it the right way going forward.
Last one, guys. I think if I'm doing the math right, if you coach out this contract, you'll get fired or whatever. You will the longest tenured head coach in Niners history, surpassing Bill Walsh. Obviously, I'm sure you're not thinking about this at the moment, but I mean, is that cool to think about? Weird to think about that you could be here this long?
I mean, hypothetically, it'd be very cool. Contracts do not mean anything. I mean, they mean a lot, but that doesn't mean anything in that aspect. But I mean, just to be and ask the question with someone like that is really cool. I feel very fortunate for it, and like I said, we did this at the beginning of the year, so it was very celebratory with my family and everything. But once the season started, you kind of realize you feel the same in every other aspect. Nothing really changes.
You mentioned the other day that you were interested in hearing from the league on the Dre's latest penalty. I'm curious if you could pass along any of that, and are you concerned at all that he's kind of getting a rep in terms of the amount of unnecessary roughness penalties he's getting, that he'll get more of them, even if he doesn't deserve them all?
Yes, thank you for asking that again, because I do have to check on that. I know we got it written up, so I need to go read it. But anytime you play like Dre, I mean, he doesn't hesitate in anything he does. So he jumps off the screen to people, but you still got to call it right. It's harder when people are like that, but he plays one way, and if he's ever playing a way that's illegal or anything that's not allowed, I mean, that we will change that fast. But Dre is a very talented athlete and very physical and a violent player who can play that fast and keep himself out of trouble for the most part. And I think he's done a very good job of that throughout his career. The hardest one was the one versus Herbert last year, which was just unfortunate, but I think he's done a real good job at it. Injuries for practice today. Debo will be out. Ribs, knee. Juwan Jennings out, shin. Greenlaw out, ankle. Ayuk's limited with his shoulder. Ambry Thomas is limited with his shoulder. Go ahead.
Brock was saying after the game that things started out a little choppy, but that over the course of the game, you guys started to figure out the blitzes a little bit more, understood when they might happen and how they might happen. When that happens and you're kind of doing things in game like that, how does that happen? Does it come from your coaches up above? Is it the quarterback kind of talking to you? How do you kind of figure things out as the game's going on?
All the above. I mean, there weren't many changes made. It was more just settling Brock down on the looks and stuff and just helping describe to him what he just saw. If he did see something and missed it, just to explain why he missed it and to show the look, how many people are in this spot, hey, that's this look. Ask him why he saw it differently, things like that. And I mean, that's why teams disguise. That's why they do a bunch of stuff. But nothing we had to make up. You just got to coach when guys come to the sideline. Yeah, he's real good at that. Yeah, he's real good.
How did you spend your weekend? Watch any football? And did Mike McDaniel's team scoring 70 catch your attention at all?
Yeah, I think it caught everybody's. No, it was an awesome weekend. You don't get much time to sleep in a little bit and relax. Got to go to a high school football game. Got to go to a very exciting cheerleading competition. My son, unfortunately, had a bye week, so I didn't get to see one of his games. And then it was awesome just to watch football all Sunday. A lot of it, I was in a high school gym watching on my phone because I was in a cheerleading competition. But no, the Miami game was crazy. They played so good, and they really had it done. It seemed like with about 8 minutes to go, so it could have been a lot worse, but it was fun to watch.
Your next two opponents playing each other too. Did you get the chance to watch that game?
Yeah, that was cool just to watch both the teams. Our next two opponents. We'll see a lot of it over the next 2 weeks, so it's not like on our day off we're that locked into it because we know that's going to be our next Monday and Tuesday also. But just to watch it from a fan perspective and enjoy it with my family and stuff was fun to see.
What are the companies that look past Arizona? What did you take away from their performance? Was it kind of a wake up call?
Yeah, but if all you have to do is watch the two games before that also. They had every chance to win versus Washington in week 1. I believe that they should have. And I forget the exact score, but I want to say it was like 27-7 in the third quarter versus the Giants, and they had every chance to win that. And it got away from them at the end. And Dallas was very similar, but they didn't turn it over there at the end, and they kept finishing and keeping it out of the red zone, and ended up not being close. So they're a team that really should be 3-0 right now.
Forgive me if I misheard you. Did you say Debo's out with a knee? Or
Yeah, he's got rib and knee. Yeah.
is that something new that popped up?
It was something we didn't really know till the next day. Later in that day, just him being sore and stuff. He didn't realize it till later.
What did you say for Jennings?
Shin.
Cannon's defense in Philly and his defense in Arizona, how are they similar? How are they different? Has he changed anything?
I mean, it's real similar because it's the scheme he runs, just the fronts and the coverages. And, he had such a sound, good scheme at Philly, and that's what it's been so far in these 3 games. So we'll see on tendencies and stuff how that changes up. It's still early in the year, how he's going to use his personnel and stuff like that. But you can still see he's doing what he does, and it's a very tough scheme.
What do you see from Josh Dobbs?
I think he's playing real good quarterback play right now. I mean, he's one of the reasons they've been in every game. They're really committing to the run, trying not to give up explosives and keep guys out of the end zone on defense, and he's not turning it over. He's been extremely decisive. When it's there, he consistently makes it. When it's not there, he plays it smart, doesn't turn it over. He's been able to scramble and make some plays, and he's been very competitive in the quarterback run game when they haven't honored him.
Kind of an odd question, but when you're watching the Dolphins game or seeing any of your coordinators doing well, is there ever a sense of pride?
I mean, you're always happy for people that you know, and also people you've been with. It's, I think it's a lot more fun to watch guys in the AFC. Then you can truly cheer for them. When it's guys in our own division, our conference, it's not very fun. You're kind of annoyed. But no, it's always cool, especially guys that have been with you for a long time, because you get to see more formations, you get to see stuff that you do, and you get a lot more looks at it.